Today is Saturday, so you know what that means. We going mowing. So I figured this is the second cycle of all my lawns. I actually did all my yards 2 weeks ago. My season started 2 weeks ago. And the yards were kind of a mess. But we got through them. Well, I got through them. I used Saturday. I didn't start till like 10 in the morning. But I used Saturday and I finished off at like around 4. And then on Sunday, I did a few yards. I did 1, 2, 3 on Sunday. 3 or 4? I think I did 4 on Sunday. And one of the neighbors was gone, and they had the lock on their gate still. So I went back and mowed their backyard Monday after work. So what I did this year is I kept 8 paying accounts plus mine, so 9. So I have 9 yards to do. I put all the rest of the accounts out on the market. I didn't sell them. I didn't bundle them. I didn't give them away. I didn't give them to anybody. They're on the market because the deal that I had with my customers was the deals that I had with my customers. Some of them were $30 lawns that I've had since the beginning of time, since before I was trimmers. When I was community lawn care, just putzing around, still in the military, I had some $30 yards that I was just doing on the side with a push mower, and they were my original customers, and I never raised their price. And so I didn't feel right to bundle those people up and give them to somebody who wants $40 or $50 a cut, and rightfully so. God, go get it. I didn't want to do that. I didn't want to put my customer in a position to have to say, well, Dan used to do it for 30, and I don't want, like Johnny from Blades of Grass or anybody else for that matter that I talk to around here, going to the customer and saying, well, I know Dan used to do it for 30, but we can't, I got overhead, I got guys, and I don't want to put Johnny in that position because that's not fair to him. So they're on the market. That's all I did. I set them free, and lawn guys will call me and say, hey, your customer's calling, said they can't get a hold of you, wants a price, what do you want me to do? Go for it. Go get it. That's your account. Go get it. Bid it accordingly, and that's it. Don't worry about me. I got what I got. I got what I want. I got customers that I like, and every single customer paid me from the last time to today. Not a single customer owes me money. Well, except my direct neighbor, but that's because she's out of town, and she's fine. So today I'm going to do some yards. We'll do a little bit of yard work together, and I'll show you guys the equipment that I kept. And I got some equipment in my shed. I got some equipment for sale, and we'll take it from there. All right, so let's get started with our day. We'll get to the first yard, and we'll go from there. If you have like 8 $30 yards, right? And I'm using $30 yards because let's just say they're small yards, and you just pick up a push mower or a self-propelled mower like my TB360, which they don't make the TB360 anymore. I understand they discontinued that model, but they still have rear-wheel drive, but I don't know if they have the 190cc motor. They might have the 163cc motor. I'm not exactly sure. I would still say go for it. I'd still say get it, man. It's an inexpensive mower. It gets the job done. Parts plentiful. If you want to go out and get a Honda or a Snapper or an X-Mark or a Husqvarna, something like that for, $450, $500, $600, $700, $800, by all means. I'm not going to tell you not to do it. I'm not going to tell you there's a problem with doing that. But, if you're a young guy, if you're in high school, or if you're just looking for some part-time weekend work, you might be good to go with just a $250, $300 mower like my TB360. It works. And you can make some pretty decent money with it. You don't have to have a really expensive mower. Now, let's take it to the next level. Say now you're going for a little bit more income. You want to do a little bit more than just 9 yards every other weekend. Say you want to do 9 or 10 yards every weekend. Every Saturday you want to head out and do 8, 9, 10 yards and make $300 or $400 each day. Maybe it's just part-time little work you're doing or something like that. And you might want to get something a little bit, what's the word I'm looking for? It's going to last longer. You know what I'm saying? It's going to, parts will last a little bit longer, might have a better engine. I mean, this is a Briggs & Stratton motor, but I mean, if you want to get like a Honda motor or mower or something like that, you know, you might do better. You get the Kawasaki mower or motor on like the X-Mark brand. They got that Kawasaki FJ, whatever the hell it is. That might do better. I don't know. I never have bad luck with Briggs & Stratton. I didn't have any bad luck with my Kohler. You know, people will tell you all types of horror stories, or they'll tell you one thing's a piece of shit and one other thing's a piece of shit. They don't freaking know. They're just listening to their dad, who listened to their dad, who listened to their dad. Who, rumors have it, the next thing you know, Dodge is the biggest. Ooh, where are you guys? Dodge is the biggest piece of shit in the world because somebody he knew had a transmission that went out on it. You know, don't believe the hype, man. Just go from your own experience. Shop for warranty. Shop for price. Shop for specs. And go get the job done, man. And then learn from your own experiences. There's bad stories and rumors and everything that you buy out there, you know. And remember, when you're going by reviews, most reviews, like online, a lot of people that buy something and they're just happy with it, never touch it again. You know what I mean? They never go back and revisit that web page for any reason. They bought what they wanted and now they're happy. The only ones that do go back are the ones that have something negative to say. So if, you know, something comes back with like a 3-star review or 3 out of 5, you gotta kind of take it with a grain of salt. Read what it's saying, you know. Yeah, I was mowing my lawn, first cut of the season in August, and the engine kept shutting off, lack of power. Well, you know, maybe you might want to cut your lawn in April, and you know, maybe regularly all the way up to August, and then maybe, you know, you wouldn't have been cutting grass 4 foot tall. So you got to be really careful. You got to read why people are giving something a bad review, and you just got to go with your own experience. So, but a little mower like this, you head out, you make $300 in a day. Shit, man, what the hell more could you ask for working by yourself? A little part-time, little deal. You know what I'm saying? Or you go out there, you do 10 lawns at $40 a pop. Man, you're kicking it. You know what I mean? That's freaking awesome. This Mustang's gonna eat my bumper here in a second. He keeps pissing me off. I'll show him what a real Ford looks like instead of that chintzy Mustang. So anyways, yeah, I'm just fucking with him now. Now cut his ass off. That's right. I'm an asshole. So, golly, man, that sun's kind of brutal on you guys today, isn't it? Where are we at? Man, I'm sorry. Let me get me a coffee here and power this down, and then I'll be back, and we will. We're heading to our first yard for the day. All right. So some things that were 2 weeks ago when I did my yards, the edging was a little rough, you know. Not bad. I used one blade on the 9 yards, including mine. So one blade, pretty much polished it off. There's a little bit of blade left. I could do another yard with it. But I'm probably just going to go ahead and swap the blade out, and then that blade will last me longer. But, you know, you had to edge it one way, and then I went back and I re-edged it the other way. Then I went with the weed eater, and I cleaned the edge up with the weed eater, because, you know, I'm pretty good with the weed eater. So I cleaned it all up that way, you know, and then I do things differently when I use a small mower than when I use a big mower. So a lot of you guys will see things, and we're just going to chat today mostly and just get back into the rhythm of things, and we're going to do some video later. I got my Sony Action Cam charging. I thought it charged. I guess it didn't, because it turned right off when I started this morning. So I'm actually using my my Sony, or my Samsung S4, the front camera, the selfie cam I'm actually using, so quality will be okay, but not the greatest. I do have the iPhone 6 Plus. It's okay. It's a good phone. I don't know what all the hype is behind Apple. I guess I just don't play with all the crap that people play with. I mean, it's a good phone, but if I didn't get such a good deal on it, like, I'm glad I didn't go with the iPhone 7, because the iPhone 7 for that price, oh my god. But screw that. So I got through the yards 2 weeks ago, like I said, it was an initial cleanup for all the yards, first cut of the season, not too bad. Today, we're just gonna blow through them. But I do have a different way of doing yards. Now, you'll go back and you watch my other videos, like a man in a zero, or whatever it was, a guy in a zero, whatever the hell that series was. And you see, I always mow first. I would mow, then I would edge, and then I would tighten everything up with the weed eater. Because, you know, the mower can chop things. You can hit a little divot in the lawn, and, you know, you got 2 or 3 blades on a deck, and even if it's a floating deck or not, you're still liable to make a gouge mark or something. So I never wanted to weed eat first, because then when you're done mowing, you might have to get back on the weed eater and blend and stuff like that. So I always like to mow first, and then I would edge, and then I would use the weed eater to tighten everything up, go over the edging, make sure everything looked good, and blend the weed eating, blend the mowing, you know, make sure everything was tightened up. And, you know, and that was fine. And if you stayed after your yards well enough, you never had like big clippings from the weed eater. And if you did have a little area where there might have been some big clippings, then you just kind of mulch it up real quick with the weed eater. 2 seconds, you know. People used to question me on that. They'd be like, oh, Greg from Geek to Freak always mows last, so he chops everything up. You can go back. You never see any of that crap laying on my yard. So, you know, take everything you see on YouTube, you know, just kind of take it with a grain of salt. Build your own system. Nobody is right. I'm just telling you how I do it. Doesn't mean it's the right way. It's just how I do it and why. So I would weed eat last, that way I could blend everything in and only touch the weed eater one time, and it's a very efficient way for me to work. When I'm using a little mower though, that's completely different. The little mower, I edge first and then I weed eat, and when I weed eat as if I'm weed eating for a big ass machine, because with a little mower, what really kicks your ass on a little mower compared to a big mower isn't the straight line mowing, unless it's some ridiculous amount of distance. But if you're just mowing a yard, like laying down stripes, going back and forth, or you're boxing it, you know, doing the square mowing or whatever. Oh crap, I forgot my bag attachment. Damn it. I don't need it, but I forgot that I would normally have my bag attachment and my side chute with me, but I don't need it. But I should have that with me as a just in case, but I don't know, whatever. But if you're just going back and forth, what slows you down, really, I mean, if you got a 42-inch zero turn, or a 36-inch walk behind, or a 21 or 22-inch push mower, believe me, the big mower, it'll save you time, but it's not going to save you as much time as you think. So when you start going with, you know, a $4,000 machine or a $3,000 machine versus a $300 machine, the time saved isn't as much as you think, unless it's really a large area that you're doing. But when you're doing smaller houses and smaller yards, like what I do, like the area that I work, you don't lose much by having a push mower. You really don't, or at least a self-propel mower. So if you have a good 21-inch self-propel mower, even like the 22-inch, like the Husqvarna all-wheel drive, I believe, has a 22-inch deck. If you're sporting a 22-inch deck, you're not really losing that much time, honest to God. And if you can stay on top of your yards to where they're not really bad, you get through them pretty quick. You don't really lose a lot of time. Where you do lose time is going around objects, moving the mower, manually stopping, going into an area, having to back, go forward, go back, go forward with the mower. You know, you're sitting there, do it where a big zero turn can go in, and then you cut a zero turn, and it's a zero turn, so you can turn like a tank. Sorry about the sun, guys. I don't know if this is really killing you or not. Maybe that'll help? No, probably not. But that's where you lose a lot of time, when you're sitting there with your push mower and you're like back and forth, and then you're like trying to get things. That's where it kills you. But if you just go down, spin it, come back, spin it, go down, spin it, come back, spin it, not that big of a deal. So what I do is I weed eat first, and ooh, yard sale, ooh, an elliptical. When I weed eat first, I edge first, and then I weed eat. And when I weed eat, I weed eat as if I'm weed eating for a really big mower. and I get into all those little corners. I get really, really wide because I'm fast with the weed eater. So I'll get wide, like where a fence meets a house. I'll go zip, zip, and then I cut that corner. And so when I go with my push mower, I go down to the fence and I can roll and turn and go. And with it being rear wheel drive, I just kind of hover the front end just a little bit, and I cover it where I got with the weed eater so it blends nice, and I just zip it around and then I go. So the little mower is hauling ass for me, you know, and I'm not losing a lot of time, a lot of energy, a lot of strength. I'm not getting tired, and you know, I'm not old manning it with the mower, trying to go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, getting my ass handed to me. I weed eat big area like that. I weed eat a big, you know, a big area to turn. So when you do stuff like that, you make it very efficient to use a little mower. So that's how I little mow. Edge, weed eat, and then I mow. And because the little mower, I don't have to tighten things up after it mows. It's gonna be perfect, you know, it's gonna look great. There's not gonna be any issues. There's not gonna be any problems with blending or blades chopping or anything like that. So that's how I do that. Cool, does that make sense to you guys? Makes sense to me. So we're at the first yard here, and I'm going to shape the bushes a little bit. Yeah, I'm going to give him a little bit of shape on these bushes, and we're going to get things tightened up here. Let me show you guys real quick what I was talking about with like weed eating. Here's a really pretty good example. You see this right here? See this area? See, like with a zero turn, you can run up here and bust a quick turn. And if this stuff wasn't in the way, you'd go up, and then you'd back up maybe and hook it and go. But with a push mower, you're going to go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. So what I did is I just weed eat the whole thing down all the way out to like here is all weed eated. And so I just come with my little mower and I just bust a Yui and keep on going. And same thing here. It's hard to tell because it's not summer and the grass isn't super thick. But this corner is all weed eated down. So all I got to do is mow a little bit off the house and bust a turn and keep on rolling. I don't stop with the little mower. And that makes things really efficient, and it keeps you rolling. And then I already weed eated it and edged, and I grind the weeds down a little bit, and then pull the weeds out, clean the bed up a little bit. And that's called directional weed eating. I don't know if you guys do a search in the YouTube bar, a little search bar on YouTube for directional weed eating Dan's, you know, for Dan's daily vlog. Directional weed eating Dan's, you'll come up to a video and I teach you guys how to use the natural rotation of your weed eater head to clean out your flower beds, planter beds, whatever. It's kind of neat. So anyways, this one's weed eated, edged, and I trimmed the bushes already, put a little shape on them all around. So all I got to do now is just mow, and then we'll get to the next yard, and I'll show you guys some equipment. There are some changes in the lineup that you guys might be a little shocked with. So we have a finished product, 9:29 a.m. 2 weeks ago, when I first started doing the yards for the season, I didn't start this yard till 10 o'clock, you know, being polite, noise, Saturday. 2 weeks later, wakey bitches. Anyways, here's the finished product. Looks good. I like it. Took me just under an hour, and that was with some conversation with the customer. 2 conversations, actually. I really like this guy. He's a great guy. And he's a really good payer. He's already submitted the payment through his bank to me. I'll have it Thursday or Friday from his bank mailed to my P.O. box, and done deal. And he pays a good chunk of money. In the backyard's a pool. You saw it probably, right, when I showed you guys that little bit of weed eating thingy. Yeah, the backyard's a pool. So anyways, 9:30 and we outie. Now that's the only yard I drive to. That's it. And it's close to Circle K to get my coffee. So I got a coffee 2 minutes up the road. Like literally, I make this good chunk of money. And now let's go home. And all of my yards are within less than a quarter mile of my driveway. One's my neighbor, one's mine. 2 are down the end of the street at the cul-de-sac. 3 are together just beyond the stop sign, and one's right around the corner on the main drag in, and that's the one we're going to go do right now. So let's go do that, and let's talk about the equipment. Let me show you guys some pieces of equipment, and get on with it. And yes, it's much easier today than it was 2 weeks ago. Cleaning up the yards, like the edging and everything, was super simple. What an idiot. Guy was doing 40 miles an hour on a 45 in a single lane, and now he's hauling ass. With no teeth. So, I mean, good lord. Check gauge. Damn it, I need to stop and get gas. So you know I'm not bullcrapping you. I am actually charging the Sony action cam. See, it's charging, it's plugged in, and the light's on. See the little orange light right there? See that? Right there, little orange light. Oh, my fingernails are dirty. It is charging. So I hope the battery's not bad, because I thought it was charged, but it might have went dead just sitting. So I had it plugged in and it was charging, and then I just left it plugged in, and it's been plugged in for like 2 weeks, because I actually shot video with it 2 weeks ago for lawns, but the camera, I didn't realize the lens was so screwed up, and there was sun glare everywhere. So I was like, screw it, I'll do it in 2 weeks. So it is charging, so hopefully there's not a problem with that. If there is, I can order a new battery for it. Probably super cheap, but whatever. So we're at this yard now. This is the yard that I did last year, where I pretended to have a broken arm, and I did this entire yard. Cut, edged, weed eat, everything. Blew off, did it all with my left arm in a sling with no edits. Showed you guys that, you know, if you were to get hurt, if something were to happen, you can still make money. You know, hopefully it's your left arm if you're righty, or it's your right arm if you're lefty. You can still get it done. You can still provide for your family. You know, just don't let life's happenings get in your way. You got to keep going for your, you know, what you're focused on. And so that was a little prank video I did last year, which, by the way, it's April 1st today. This video is probably going to go up April 2nd tomorrow, because I'm going out with Amanda tonight. That's my girlfriend's name. We're going out. We're going to have a really good time tonight. So I'm not going to be doing edits or anything like that on this video until tomorrow. But that thing's still charging, so let me do this yard, and then on the next one we'll break it out and see what's up. And if it doesn't work, then we'll use this camera here to show you the equipment of the season so far, and figure out what we're going to do for capturing some video. What time did I start this yard? 10:50 now. Excuse the mess. That was the sweater I was wearing this morning. And a safety vest for the landfill, which I don't wear because I wear bright shirts now for the landfill. And I have uniform tops too that are bright, reflective stuff. But anyway, like 10 o'clock I started, right? So 10:50. So it took me 50 minutes to do this yard. I know with my zero turn it'd take me like 35 minutes to do this yard. This is actually the first time I ever did that bushes. So bushes are trimmed and all cleaned up. And if you notice, I didn't take anything with me, because after I trimmed the bushes, I edged, and then I weed eated, and then I used the directional weed eating skills that I have, and I pulled the stuff out, and then I blew the stuff out, and I blew it all onto the grass, and then I mulched the shit out of it with the Troy BILT, and that's it. We're done. So 50 minutes. Can't complain with that. That's pretty good. Drink a little bit of water, and now we got a group of 3 to do. And then we have a group of 2 to do. And then we have my neighbor and my house to do. Dead last. And if I don't feel like doing it, I'll just do them tomorrow, because it's my yard anyways, and I don't mind doing something on Sunday maybe. I don't know. But we'll see. We'll see how it goes. 10:52. Oh, and I ordered prints. I'll have to talk about those later. Okay, guys, let's talk real quick about equipment. Right now we're still using the HL100K, which is the hedge trimmer, the steel hedge trimmer with the articulating head. So I have it folded completely down right now so it fits in my truck. But this is actually for sale or trade for the attachment to fit the combi system. You know how you could buy just attachments like a weed eater attachment like this, the weed eater attachment and the edger attachment like that one, for the combi. So the KM90R is what I'm using. Hopefully that shows. That's the steel combi KM90R. I'm using the weed eater attachment, the straight edger attachment that I used to use last year, and this was a spare. The weed eater attachment was a spare. Now it's primary. It moved up. It graduated. Primary weed eater, KM90R combi with the weed eater attachment. Shield removed. Plenty of videos why I removed the shield back in my library, so check them out. Straight edger. I love the straight edger as opposed to the curve shaft edger. This is amazing edger. Awesome. And then the steel HL100K for trimming bushes. This is for sale or trade for the attachment that would fit this. So anybody in the local area that wants to show up, this thing's only about a year old. It's awesome. There's nothing wrong with it. I just don't want it because it's too big. I just want the attachment so it stores better in the bed of my truck. We got the steel BG86 blower still. That's what you're using. And the TB360 21-inch rear-wheel drive 190cc Briggs & Stratton motor on the BILT TB360. We rebuilt the shit out of this thing, the front end, all types of crap. Bunch of videos on the maintenance of this thing toward the end of last year, so check that out. And then we got marine gas with 2-cycle mix. Gotta let the vent out every once in a while. I make it in 5 gallons and then I just pour it in this little thing to carry it with me, and the rest is in my garage. We got hand snips and loppers and like saw blade type crap in there, edger blades, small tools, different things that you need, garbage bags, oil, mix, stuff like that in the toolbox. That's the gear, guys. That's the gear. So we're about to do these 3 yards here, and with this gear, when we're done with 1, 2, 3, we'll have earned $200. Guys, it's only 11 o'clock. You know what I'm saying? If you're gonna think about getting into a lawn business, you know, you could do it with basic equipment. You can do it. You can make $200-300 in a day. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna make $300 today, no problem, and have my yard cut by the end of the day. So the only reason why I wouldn't is if I wanted to cut out early and push mine and my neighbors off to do it tomorrow because of press for time for maybe wanting to, you know, take my girlfriend out a little bit earlier. But I mean, the sun's up till 8 o'clock now. There's no reason why I can't get 5 more yards done. These 3, 2 more down the street, and then my neighbors, so 6 more yards done. No reason why I can't do that and make a $300 payday with this basic equipment. If I can do it, you can do it. That's the whole point of my channel. If I can do it, you can do it. And this is how I do it. Guys, let me show you something. Oh, sorry, yeah, had to tan the titties. It's just beautiful weather, so. But look behind me. Maybe it shows, maybe it don't. I don't stripe. I couldn't give a crap about stripes, but I will lay down some straight ass lines. It's 1:03. We've been at it for 4.5 hours, and we made a couple $100. Like, exactly. I'm just watching this accident waiting to happen. But yeah, we made $200 in 4.5 hours, so we're sporting just a little under $25 an hour with a push mower, and in travel and stopping for gas. So that's not too shabby. I can't complain, considering the yards that we're doing. But it's lunchtime. It's 1 o'clock. Let's go eat lunch. Here is the best damn car wash in the world, Elite Car Wash. That's that place. I got a video on that for $40 a month, unlimited. You can go to every day, 10 times a day. It shines your tires with the Armor All, whatever. It puts the Rain-X. I mean, they scrub your car before you even go in it, and then you go in the machine and it gets hammered and Rain-X'd and hot lava waxed and all this crap. The car comes out so good. It looks so nice. And I got a video of that, so I don't know what it's called. Maybe tour my local car wash or something like that. I'm not sure. And then Walgreens right here, I got prints being made of the fountain. I centered up. I used my iPhone camera, and I centered up a really, really, really pretty picture. If I remember, I'll try to insert it. But if not, I did a really pretty picture of the airport, the Savannah Hilton Head Airport. They got like this courtyard with a huge fountain, and they did the fountain green for St. Patrick's Day. So I tried to square up the stairs and everything, made a really nice, pretty picture of it. And then also I saw a train trestle in Pooler working the other day, and I was like, oh wow, and I stopped and snapped a picture of that. So I have those two pictures being printed 8x10 glossy print. I want to see what they look like, and if they come out nice, I'm going to go ahead and frame them up and hang them, because I mean they're gorgeous. At least on my phone they are. But anyways, you guys probably remember this one. This one here and her. So we got those two done. I got one more paying customer to do. That puts me over 300 for the day. And we'll have that one done at 4 plus my front yard. So I'll be done like 4:30. 4:15, 4:30, something like that, unless somebody starts talking my ear off. But so if we're done at 4:30, figure 8:30 to 4:30 with a 30-minute lunch break. So 9 to 4:30, 9 to 5 is 8 hours. So 9 to 4:30, 7.5 hours. So if we do 8 hours, 300 and something bucks, 310 I believe. So 310 bucks, almost 320 in 8 hours, 7.5, 8 hours. That means we're averaging 40 bucks an hour. I think I said like 20 something earlier. Something was wrong there. But yeah, we're averaging 40 something dollars an hour with travel. Shit. I mean, even if we average 35 an hour with lunch and travel and all that, we're still rocking it. You know what I mean? Can't really complain with what we got. And that's the whole point of my channel. That's the whole point of my videos. It's not that this is the best way to do something. It's this is a way to do something. That's all it is. And you know, I get a lot of comments. I get people like, one guy called me a retard the other day. Another guy laughed, LOL, whatever, because of a handheld blower. You know, I mean, I guess maybe they had an inheritance when they started out. But you know, my channel's not about like being the best or anything like that. My channel is, you know, can you do it? This is what you got, then you go out and do it. That's what interests me. Lawn service just doesn't interest me anymore. Cutting grass doesn't interest me. I was losing my interest last year. But when I lost my family, you know, and I lost my wife, I lost my family, I just kind of lost my whole heart with that side of my life, because everything I was doing, you know, we were building a business for our family. And so as that went away and, you know, realization sets in, it was like I just kind of lost my heart with it. And I guess in my mind I just started downsizing anyways. But my channel though is geared to you. It's for you guys. It's not for Brian from Top Notch, you know. It's not for B&B, you know. It's not for those guys. Those guys have well-established businesses with big accounts and lots of accounts and lots of money and employees and all that, and you know, and that's you know, that's them. That's what they do. That's what they got. But my channel is for you guys. It's for the new guys coming up. It's you know, it's for the part-timers. It's for the people that are struggling to make ends meet, that are looking for alternative ways of income. I made a nice living out of it for quite a little while, but like I said, I lost my heart, and so now I'm just looking to kind of use it as a little bit of extra money. You know, help me pay my child support, put it toward boats, you know, put it toward amazing weekends with my boys. I get my boys, I spend $300 every weekend when I have my boys. I mean, we go through $300 with all the stuff that we do. And this little side business of cutting grass right now is going to pay for that, you know. So that's it. I'm not the right way. I'm not the only way. I'm just my way, and my way is just because that's what I have right now. This is what I chose, and this is might be all that you have. You might just have a push mower in the back of a geo tracker. You know who you are, and you can relate. You can say, yeah, man, that's why I follow you, Dan. You know, and or you might have a little hustler, a little 42 or 48-inch hustler, and you know, you're learning about route density and stuff, or how to weed eat a little bit different, or you know, things like that. Or maybe you're in high school and you just want to make some money, or maybe you're a chick, you know, maybe you're a woman and you just love to watch sweaty men. I mean, dude, they're all out there. I get it all, man. And I get it. And I'm here to just put content up that is going to entertain, inform, motivate, instruct, help. That's it. I'm not here to tell you that my way is better than your way, or that your way's not as good as my way, or better than my way. I'm just here to instruct, to motivate, to entertain, to be creative, to challenge myself with new things. And now this year I'm going to challenge myself to do, you know, a little over 300, maybe get up to 400 on a weekend doing some of this side work, just like you. And I'm going to do it, and I'm going to do it on video when I can, and we're going to talk about trucks, and we're going to go to the dump in the landfill, and we're going to film the bald eagle that hangs out there. There's a whole family of bald eagles at our landfill, and so that's what we're going to do this year. And I'm going to continue to motivate and instruct you guys on different ways of doing things. And you know, it might not be the best way. There might be other ways. But you know, like I say to people, when I do a crossblade video and people say, oh, why didn't you just bag it? I say, because then I'd have to change the title to bagging. That's not what the title says. The title says crossblading. It doesn't say this is how you get rid of leaves. And then I go out there and crossblade it, and then you could say, well, bagging would be better. I'm just saying, hey, I'm going to crossblade these leaves. Let's see what happens. It doesn't mean it's the better way or the best way or the only way. It just means it's that way. And that's it. And I just want to inform you guys on what's going to happen to an assload of leaves when I pulverize them with crossblades on a 42-inch grade loop. And that's all like that video is about. But you know, you get people that jump in and make ignorant comments, and it don't hurt my feelings. Trust me, I couldn't give a flying rat's fat ass about some ignorant dumbass who has nothing better to do than troll other lawn guys and make comments. What it upsets me is it might affect new guys coming up thinking that they have to go out and buy some $400 or $500 bagging system, when, you know what, maybe they only have 1 or 2 yards that are ever going to have leaves like that, and maybe they're just going to crossblade it and not buy a $400 or $500 bagging system. You know, or maybe they're going to do something else. I don't know. But that's it. I'm just informing. Not saying it's the best. Not saying it's the only. Just saying it's a way. My way is a way. It's not my way or the highway. That's not what this channel is. So this year I look forward this year to getting back in touch with you guys and helping motivate and inform and teach and show and learn from you guys as well, and get back into it here really soon, and do a lot of like time lapse, and I want to get into more photography and give you guys an opportunity to see some beautiful sights in Savannah through my lens, and take it from there. So welcome to the 2017 season, my season, season of trash, season of grass, and the season of cash. And that's what we're going to do. All right, so I'm going to do my neighbor's yard and my yard. I'm going to pack it in. I'm going to go out and I'm going to have an awesome night with Amanda tonight. We're going to have a great time, and I will see you guys on the next video. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.